The wife and I are building a business together. We are almost done. I found out she is sleeping with a coworker. Let me start with some background. My wife and I are both 54, MF. Married 31 years. She is an RN at a hospital. I worked for a home builder since I was 18. We have 2 children, both grown out of the house in their 20s. We decided in our mid-40s to pursue my wife's dream of running a bed and breakfast. We have been looking on and off for years. We came across a piece of property of 5 acres and a home built in the 1870s. The original owners were large landowners in this area. They had an extensive agricultural business empire. Over the decades, fewer of the family wanted to stay in farming. Parcels of land were sold off. Our town is going through growing spurts as it has become quite touristy because of some, let's say, natural formations and beauty. The farmland along the main highways is being gobbled up. The house and land we purchased is away from the highways. Since we bought it, my wife and I are redoing the entire house. There has been neglect in some basic maintenance, and we want to restore the house to its prominence 150 years ago. Along with making a living, my wife has been in charge of decorating rooms as I finish, along with paying the mortgage. I am renovating room by room, paying for all material and any professional help, if needed. I am pretty handy, so most work is done by me. The last few years the housing industry has gone through the roof. We would work 8 days a week if we could. I was pulling in big money. Until last year. The pandemic knocked us out of work for a while in 2020, then the material shortages started. Of course, my wife was on the front lines for the last 18 months. Last year she worked weeks at the hospital without days off. The medical staff stayed at the hospital. They had rooms several slept in together. To say the least, the staff got very close. They worked 4 weeks on, 2 weeks off. Starting in March last year into the fall, then again after Thanksgiving. My wife, as always, after the kids were older, worked for others if they asked. She watched these young parents crying because they could not see their families. So, on their off time, she would give up her time off and offer it to the staff that really needed it. There were others that did this too. The whole COVID experience changed her. Watching people put on ventilators, the deaths, etc. She was not the same person. She was distant. Our sex life went to zero. I attributed it to either her experiences or her age. I tried talking about it but was told she just didn't feel it anymore. We still worked closely on the house. We planned trips to an area in our state that had a large Amish population. The Amish here are known for the craftsmanship in woodworking and sewing. We bought several pieces of furniture for the bedrooms along with handmade quilts. This past weekend, we were planning on taking a 3-day trip to this area to buy dining room furniture. I also pay and trade with some wood that I get when I take down an old barn, which I do as a side gig. Barnwood is very much in demand. My boss calls me and tells me everyone is working the whole week as he was able to get wood and shingles for a house we have been sitting on, waiting for supplies. I told the wife we could go on Saturday and Sunday. On Friday morning she tells me she is still going with some workers because there is a fall festival going on too. I go to a local bar that night. One of her coworkers comes up to say hello. I asked if she was going on the trip. She knew nothing about it. So I texted the wife asking if she made it okay and asked who was all there with her. She texted back that this friend, her other close friend, and a friend called Stevie. I had heard this name the last few months. Until then I always thought they was female. I asked her friend at the bar if she knew this Stevie. She said no, but there is a Steven that works with them. The wife gets back Sunday afternoon. She has bags of tablecloths, napkins, kitchen towels, etc. She is showing me what she bought. In one bag there was a smaller bag. She pulled it out, looked in it and said, "Oh, not this bag, it's not for us." I let it go. Later I looked in the bag, she had hidden it in a closet. It was decorations for a man cave for a college team I don't follow in sports, so it wasn't for me. I asked to talk with her. I asked again who all went. She gave the same 3 people. I just asked who Stevie was because we had not met. She told me a woman they work with. I pulled out the man cave stuff and told her I talked to her friend, who was supposed to be away last weekend but her plans blow up. Then I asked who Stevie was again. She started crying and told me who he was, and yes, they were by themselves. They had sex. They have been since last year during their hospital lockdown. So now she is living in one of the finished bedrooms. I have our bedroom. I will talk to a lawyer on Monday. I have no idea what to do about the house, the business, the marriage. To me, she was sorry she was caught, but not for the affair. I asked her if she would break it off with Stevie. She was not sure. Here are some best comments. If she does not want to cut with the AP, it is because she is sorry that you caught her and not the matter. What do your children think of all this? Has she told you if she wants to stay with you or not? Since she found out how she's been acting? She accepts the blame and realized how much damage she did to you? She does not stay in that marriage and she stops giving him support in her things. I was lying to you for a whole year. When you tried to support her, she refused and decided to lean on someone else. You don't deserve to go through all this. I hope you keep updating. Do not talk to her about it again. Read up on the 180 and Grey Rock methods. If you can, throw her out. Tell her she can live with Stevie. The marriage is over, it ended the day she decided he was more important than you. Next time you talk, it should be bullet points as discussed with your lawyer. I know it is hard, but her attitude says that she is not willing to invest in the marriage anymore. She should have jumped at the option to break it off if she wanted the marriage to have any chance. Start separating things like finances, etc. Do not entertain thoughts on how to have a business yet, because it will ruin you emotionally. Get into therapy for yourself. You have to understand that she has to recover this, not you. But this only matters if you are absolutely sure you want to reconcile. Sorry that you are in this position, unfortunately, you need to face the facts. If she is unwilling to go no contact with her affair partner, she has made a decision and it's him, not you. Yes, it sucks, and yes, things will get worse before they get better. An affair that has been going for that amount of time is not something that you will recover from. Lawyer up, get your options, file and serve her. After that, let your lawyer handle any communication with her. Then blow up her fantasy world. Tell your family, her family, and your friends about the affair. When people ask questions, tell the truth. If her affair partner has a wife, tell her. Also, they are coworkers, so tell the HR department of the hospital. Get your story out first. If you do not, she will tell a very different story, and may blame you or even accuse you of abuse. Do not let that happen. You should be the one to tell your children also. This is also the time to take care of yourself, talk to someone, a family member, good friend, counselor, life coach, pastor, therapist. You need someone you can talk with, that you can trust. It is very difficult to go through this alone. Try to eat right and get as much rest as possible. Do things that are mentally and physically challenging to take your mind off your situation. It will be important to support your children also. This will be a very traumatic time for them too. Understand that this was not your fault, this is all on your wife. She is the one who decided to fuck another guy, break her wedding vows, lie to you, disrespect you, destroyed your family, and destroyed your trust and your happiness. Every marriage has problems and issues, but the answer is not to go out and fuck someone else. She made literally hundreds of conscious decisions to meet this guy, develop a relationship, fuck him, and lie about it all to you. This is not your fault. One thing you might want to find out is, who knows about the affair and didn't tell you, or who has been covering up for her. Whoever those people are, they must be cut out of your life forever. Stay strong, everyone in this sub knows how hard that this is, but you can, and will get through it.